So we are getting into the game. The score is 0-0. Will we be able to pull it through? Or will we be defeated in round 1? Let's see. Let's see. Put your thoughts in now. Do you think we will lose 2 games in a row? Will this series be 2-1, 1-2? I feel like, given that we're getting to play Vampire Coast here, I'm feeling pretty confident. If we lose this game, I'm not feeling confident at all. So we'll see. We're going to deploy on the far left over here, since Chosen One might decide to do a heavy forest flank. Sort of just loop his units around here. Try to jump on my cannons. We aren't really camping the corner, since it is very far away on this map. And go. These cannons are a little bit far up. Move them back a tiny bit. We don't want to move them back too far. Beast mode. Thank you for the support. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident here. This is a matchup that I've played quite a bit. So feeling pretty comfortable here. Really depends on how many chariots Chosen One decides to throw our way. We're going to move these guys over yonder. And we want sirens in the back, supporting over there, our caster in the center. All of these guys scooted up a tiny bit. Now, instead of deploying in a line, we will be deploying in a very loose formation. If you would like to know why, I have a YouTube video on that. You can check it out. But okay. Okay. Oh man, ooh, I always get so jittery during these tournaments. But yeah, I'm happy with this formation here. Maybe a little bit more spread out. And we'll let him know that we are ready. Here we go. So the main problem is that Chosen One very much knows my playstyle, and he can adapt his build suitably. But for us, we are very familiar with this guns heavy playstyle. So we're pretty comfortable even if he adapts his build. Now we have double his army size. It is pretty good, since with this many guns, the fewer targets there are, the better. You just have to wait for him to be done his deployment. There could also be a lot of carrion that comes in from the back. So let's actually position some handguns further back here. I think only having 2 in the front for defense is fine. Probably has a chariot build with Hyrule Titan or Necrofinx. That would be the best thing Chosen One could take versus us. And okay, looks like he is ready. Let's dive into the game. Here. Yep. Let's do this. And what do we got? We actually have a catapult heavy build. Nice. So he knows our style very well. And he is taking catapult heavy build since they do pretty well versus our handguns here. So we will have to go on the offensive, which we're not totally uncomfortable doing. And yeah, actually, it looks like he doesn't have anything to stop Luther from shooting Cetra forever. So he's just going to go and start giving them some trouble. Meanwhile, our handguns will engage the carrion. And we begin the slow march up to Chosen One. And now he's moving in with Cetra, which I can say with certainty is a pretty bad choice. You can see there we actually loose a pretty heavy volley on him. And he takes quite a bit of damage. Now these carrion are likely going to dive in on our carronades, which is okay. Our carronades. Wow, Citra's being really aggressive here. Like really, really aggressive. Going to take a pretty big volley.
Quickly now! I'm going!
And okay, nice. Yeah, he took quite a bit of damage there. Our front line just slowly but surely moving up. Let's continue moving up so that we can push through the front line, etc. Is moving in again. Have our infantry finally moving past his front line. And I believe Luther, he can now make a big play going for Cetra.
I see it! Quickly now!
Going to summon some pistol skeletons. And it looks like he had some cavalry kill off our cannons. Totally fine. Cetra is about to have a bad time though. Okay, our front line moving forwards, and with Cetra taking so much damage, this could very well be game. Turning our guns, hit that cavalry. He actually puts in a Ushapti summon to block our halberds, which is already a pretty good fight for them. Continue moving up that front line and bomb out over there. We've lost a lot of our handguns, but that doesn't really matter since they have already done their job and we have completely forgotten our sirens, which is a pretty big mistake there. But hey, we remembered them now, and they will hopefully turn the tide of this battle. Now, as far as single entities go, Chosen One really only has Cetra and the two Tomb Princes. Cetra is about to take a pretty big beating. Except Luther is now getting charged by Tomb Princes. We're going to pull him through our summon over here, slowing them down, which lets Luther fly up. And now shoot Cetra, the quick pistol shot, and that should finish him off. Our pistol summons are doing very good damage to those Tomb Princes. No problem there. Shut down the catapults. And really, there is not a whole ton that Chosen One can do versus our single entities. Luther now land on the Tomb Princes, since there's more than enough support there to kill him. And there we go. We've hit army losses for our opponent. So GG. And there we go. We have won our first game against the Tomb Kings, even with a pretty committed counter build to our handguns. Honestly, I'm not sure if he had enough to deal with Luther. And he had very little air support. Uh, our front line even managed to push through, which I think was a problem, but probably winnable. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, these hundreds of kills. He spent 700 on these catapults, and if they only manage to kill one handgun unit each, that means they're only doing 550 gold worth of damage, which in this case is not enough. Our cannons, though, really didn't pay for themselves either, so we'll call it where it is being casted by, what's it? By Viking Cat, or the Viking. And yeah, he is the one hosting the tournament. So if we do get knocked out, and I forget to post the link like I have done once before, check it out and show your support. Of course, if we get knocked out, I can move all of you guys there, but for now, shall be seeing how well we do here. So we have our heavy skirmish force to make sure that we don't get skirmished, and we have enough to deal with all of those pesky archers. Chosen one saying, just a second, need to do something. Okay, cool. We'll give him the time. Since this is a tournament, we would much prefer if both players are playing at their maximum potential. Interesting to see how steep of an angle most players seem to use. Yeah, I sort of like this top-down view, looking upwards a bit. Gives you a nice view of the map, and it keeps what you're looking at a little bit closer. But yeah, I know Falcon likes to play sort of like this. So lots of interesting. Yes, we have a 9 grouping, and that is because we have a nice hotkey on our mouse. We select those units easily. Now, let's see how big of an army. Let's see, chosen one bought an army of 1,200. That's a little bit worrying. If he has a very heavy rush coming towards us, we might have some problems. Now, our Saurus will take a pretty good fight. If it's goblins, we're feeling a lot better. Although fanatics will give us a lot of trouble. Fanatics will shred up our Saurus. We'll have to be very careful about engaging those guys. But we have a bunch of skirmishers here, and our plan would be to drop rocks on the fanatics before they cause us many problems. Am I worried about savage orc spam? Not too worried, since Saurus actually trade about even with them. So with a whole bunch of savage orcs, our front line will be able to hold. I'm more worried about a bunch of fanatics. In fact, we might want to deploy a little bit further back, since you can use these guys to skirmish from early game without any problem. So let's see how this goes. Chosen one is ready. Here we go. Looks like he's deployed pretty far back, and he has a rock lobber along with savage orcs. They're just moving in our skirmishers. Okay. Now, we should have a pretty easy time dodging here, and he actually doesn't have anything to deal with our flyers, which is very good. Because they can just move right on top of those rock lobbers and give them a very hard time, but whoa, a little bit of miss micro on our part, and we take a big volley on these wolf riders. And there we go. The goblins. And archers are firing in. And okay, Operation Take Out the Voklobber commences. Oh, there is a Wurzag over there. We can begin plonking away at him. While our skirmishers fly around. And yeah, basically we have a very heavy skirmish force here. These guys can move on top of the Voklobbers. And whoa, a big arrow volley coming down on that guy. And Wurzag snaring one of our Dinks. Whoopsie daisies, I did not account for that. You know what, I think it's about time we start moving up. Let's see here, but Wurzag is taking a healthy amount of damage. Move these guys up. Let's shoot that goblin over there. He has dismounted his artillery. Okay, at this point we are taking a pretty bad trade, however, on our skinks. He is in desperate need of healing. Oh dear, that's bad. That's real bad. Alright, well, we need to get this fighting underway. We have done pretty bad, actually. For our, in this skirmish phase, we've lost some very expensive heroes. Oh, but he's back! Oh my gosh, heal him up. Heal him up, Mazdamundi. Okay, so, there is hope. And we are going to bring these Pterodon riders back. Just kidding, we're going to drop some rocks. Get in there, and there we go. That should be a nice drop rocks. Mazdamundi, you want to take out those fanatics. And for those skirmishers, see here, let's see. Yep, get some AoEs down. And you want to start shooting Wurzag. Go to those Savage Orc big guns. Yeah, that's fine. And we still want to stay away from those fanatics. And it looks like we're about to get Wurzag off the field. Would be huge. Okay. Our skinks going up against some cavalry over there. No problem. And Mazdamundi, you could use a little bit of healing. Taurus, move in on those orc boys. That's a good fight for you. And you too, you can move in on those orc boys. Okay, nice. Let's see here. We still have Pterodon riders. They want to drop rocks on those archers. And we are killing that orc with the solar engine. Our skirmishers in the back are getting caught. But come on, let's see if we can deal with those archers. Mazdamundi taking a little bit of damage. The solar engine is going to need to help him out. Those skirmishers also going to need to get onto Mazdamundi. And we're going to throw down a net. Stop them from killing Mazdamundi. Oh, and we've lost our skirmisher again. He's routing. This is a little bit tense. Get Mazdamundi in here. Shut down these archers. Hopefully we can just drown them in Saurus in the late game. See here. We really want this Pterodon rider skink to live. He has a lot of ammo. Oh, and he routed. Oh, that sucks. Okay, Master Mundi. Keep doing you. Have some black. Got some big guns coming our way. Need to throw an AoE on top of them. And Mazda Mundi, Field of the Old Ones. Let's see here. Oh dear. Let's see. Okay, pull these guys back in Mazda Mundi. Need to be running for your life. Man, losing that skink was real bad since we needed him to kill off these heroes. Luckily, we at least have the Bastillodon do that job for us. Just needs to take another shot. Mazda Mundi, give yourself a little bit of leadership. You guys can chase those ones. And okay, nice. So Pterodons are going to land on the big boss. And nice, we actually got him to rout. Okay, we got some skirmishers back. And it looks like we're gonna get a huge terror rout coming in on Chosen One side. Nice. Big terror rout. Followed by an actual rout. And man, this solar engine is doing a lot of work. Master Mundi is going to chase off those troops on the side. Yep, just keep on going. His leadership is high. Good for us. Going to charge into those archers. And that's a terror rout from them. And you know what? I think it's best. Since those guys are starting to come back, Master Mundi wants to run back to the protection of his infantry. You guys are just going to chase those guys off the map. It looks like Chosen One's backwards defensive formation is actually working out against him. Since had he deployed a little bit further forwards, he wouldn't have to deal with all of his troops routing off the map so quickly. But okay, there we go. We get a big rout from the Greenskins. And we have 1-2-0 against Chosen One. GG, guys. Oh, man. Yeah, we did a really bad job with our skinks and our skirmishers there. Having them die like that was really bad. But we got the big play, killing off Wurzag early game. He basically had no magic to speak of for that game. Which was pretty huge. It might have even been worth it, but we could have made it a little bit less sketchy if we had been more careful with these guys. But hey, it worked out. Going up against Sir Astolfo in the Viking Total Wars tournament with a grand total prize of $80. If we get first place, we will get $50 of that cut. Let's see if we are able to win it out. Now this map actually does have quite a bit of water, which will help our aquatic units. Now will we want to deploy in the water? That is something for us to figure out. Could also deploy straight up on land, but then we have to deal with a potential heavy vanguard or heavy flank coming in from the forest. If we deploy in the water, we'll have to fight in the forest. May pose some issues. For our composition, we have a mortar, a cannon. Looking at the enemy troop count, you can see about 1,300 troops. Now, chariots. How will we deal with chariots? We have sirens and position forest. I sort of like the water deployment here. You know what? We're going to go with that. This will help from archer support, and it will help our front line live a little bit longer versus those pesky chariots. Put a cannon up on top of the hill and a mortar to fire on any archers. Position our aquatic handguns openly. We'll have Luther in the back to deal with any cavalry that could come behind us. In fact, I'm so worried about that cavalry that we're going to scoot up our artillery just a teeny bit. I do much prefer flat maps when going up against Tomb Kings, since they're Ushabti great bows and archers. We'll have an easier time shooting through forests like this. Okay. Nice. Our actual range here of our artillery, a little bit low. Maybe we put the mortars really far up. We could put them over here. That way we can pivot and attack this way if we want to. We're going to have to come down and around that hill. Just have to make sure that our artillery doesn't get caught. In fact, to make sure that doesn't happen, we'll leave sirens to defend them. And we have good old zombie bombers. Always there. Help us out. Now there's a message in chat. Like our opponent is talking about the non-living battles. Since this is an undead era. So, okay, nice. We have a nice little concave formation there. But will we get mass vanguarded? You know what? Just to make sure that there's no vanguard shenanigans that happens today, we'll position our halberds a bit further back. Usually would. And then, okay, I think we're about ready. Let's get that guard mode up on all of our troops. These guys can be on hotkey 10. These ones on hotkey 3. And these ones on hotkey 6 while my sirens go on 1. Let him know that we're ready. And let's see if we can win it. These mortars, we really don't want them to be shooting trees on accident. We'll move them out a little bit more into the open. Okay, and our opponent is ready. Man, this is an awkward map. I'm not a fan of that forest. Let's see, what do we have here? We have some chariots. Cool. Wait. And no vanguard shenanigans unless they are in the forest. So Luther can go in and start plonking away at the skeleton chariots. While just about everything else repositions over here actually. Feels pretty good. Looks like our opponent slowly repositioning. And he is moving up, and we have distracting garbage truck in the background. Thank you very much for that. Okay, and what do we have here? It's a whole bunch of chariots. Interesting. Along with some skeleton archers and Arkin the Black. Cool. So we're just getting into position here. And while we do that, Luther can do a little bit of skirmishing. Arkin the Black, keeping a very far distance. And we can edge up a tiny bit.
Maneuvering. I see it.
Looks like our opponent is not really
Now.
coming towards us, but there we go. Now he is in position right about here so that our mortars can begin firing along with our cannon. Position this way so we can see our army in the distance.
Quickly now. Covering
Luther,
ground.
keep plonking away at
This way. With haste.
that
Yes,
infantry.
we shall. I see it. Quickly now. Into position. Maneuvering. I'm going. Hurry. I'm not dead. Very good. Covering ground. This way. Now. With haste.
Nice. Like our opponent
Do it.
is
Maneuvering.
playing pretty passively
This way.
to let Luther get in a lot of damage along with those mortars.
Quickly now.
He is beginning to push up now. Have some archers continuing to shoot. Luther will back up. And oh, be careful there, Luther. Okay, and it looks like we got a spirit leech on our vampire caster lord. Okay, now we want to be shooting at Tomb Guard, since they are the most expensive units, but it doesn't look like there actually are very many Tomb Guard. That's a plus. These guys can sort of reposition like so. And we just want to make sure all of our handguns are in a nice, happy position to fire away. Luther getting into position to pressure Arkin the Black. And his skeletons will run into my front line. And they'll do roughly the same amount of damage to each other. So, feeling pretty good there. Okay, we're going to continue repositioning. And Luther, you can start killing those chariots. Pesky chariots. Sirens are going to begin moving through the back line. And whoa, it looks like Luther. You should not be taking so much archer fire. Speaking of archer fire, we have some archers that we need to deal with. An Arkin the Black coming in on the flank, along with the chariots. Can pull our troops back this way. And our handguns and begin turning while our sirens move in to engage. And we're actually going to lose our mortar here, which is pretty big. Okay, get those guys over there. And yeah, I'm not very much liking this fight. This is looking like it could be rough. Handguns, you can actually retreat. I don't typically retreat my handguns, but in this case, both sides are moving pretty slowly at a snail's pace. And okay, Luther can move on in. Sirens, get over here. Protect those handguns.
Good. Into position.
Luther, you can start gooning out Arkin the Black. My caster, you can begin saving your life. Oh no, my caster's gonna die. That's bad. You have a pretty bad situation here. Typically, you take double cannons for stuff like the mass chariots here.
No escape.
This time, we had not prepared for that,
I'm going in.
and we are getting punished. Also, the fact that there's a huge tree line in front of us is going to make it pretty difficult. So our caster here, sadly, she will face an early death. But let's see if we are able to change things up. The power of Luther Harkin.
Now.
But it looks like likely not. as he is now taking quite a bit of damage and trying to push through for his life. We have taken out the chariots, and we do still have a bunch of sirens, but the loss of our caster is pretty big. Luther is going to keep pulling away, and seems like he might be safe. We'll have to see. As soon as those chariots are dead, our handguns will come back online. But we have a bunch of skeletons pushing through now. And this is looking like GG for us. Come on, Luther. Push. There we go. No, he's still getting bogged down. Wow. The sirens are going to rush in to try to protect their lord. We have some sirens over here fighting some princes. While Luther continues to try to run. Come on. Keep on pushing. Now, our opponent is taking a good deal of damage trying to catch Luther. So that is a plus. And he should be taking off in just a second. Just kidding. Wow, our opponent is doing a very good job at bogging down Luther here. Handguns are going to fire on Arkin the Black. But a very sticky situation. Come on, Luther. Take to the skies. There we go. We finally get Luther up. But at what cost? At what cost indeed? We are down a lot of our troops. But hey, you got to pick on Arkin. So that's pretty good. But will it turn the tide of battle? We shall see. Luther is going to take to the skies again. Just a second. And now he needs to goon out this Tomb Prince. So, really depends on how well Luther does in this fight. Going to have to see. He has his work cut out for him. There's a lot of infantry here. But if Luther manages to kill all of these heroes, there is a chance our sirens can do a pretty good job at fighting here. Oh wow, look at that. Luther facing down 2 Tomb Princes, taking a lot of damage. And there we go. GG. Nice. So really, I think that map did not favor us the whole time. Well, actually, we still have sirens, but those archers are shelling us out. Okay, GG. GG. Yeah, I think really double cannon is what you need for Tomb Kings, and they need to be killing those chariots. What happened in our case was that we went to mortar because of the tree line, and we really were not able to punish those chariots. So we'll have to see how it plays out. And would you look at that, it's the exact same army, people. As you can see, a man of incredible creativity as I. We're going the same build. And mostly because Bretonnia will expect builds like this. The job of the Lizardmen is to play it well enough where you don't lose. So, much like Norska, this matchup, there shouldn't really be too many surprises. So we're going to see if I am able to play this out correctly. We're going to spin these guys around so that we can avoid getting charged in the flank. Pull them in a little bit tighter. Oh my gosh. And we accidentally broke the rules because this is a different rule set. So we're playing at a handicap of 800 gold. We're just going to make a slightly tighter box and see if we are able to win it out. Alrighty, so we'll hotkey those guys, put those guys on hotkey 10. And we have the skink on hotkey number 3. So, very important thing, people. Remember to read the tournament rules. But anyways, we're still feeling pretty confident. We just have to make sure that we do not make any mistakes here. To let our opponent know that we are ready. The rule break here is that units costing more than about 600, you can only have 4 of. So we had 5 Saurus, which means that we had to put one in the back to make sure that all balanced. Okay, so we do see a trebuchet, and we're going to move in our pterodons to go ahead and deal with it. While our front line moves on up. Paladins are screening out the pterodons. We have some archer fire coming in on top of them. One of the pterodons, however, is making it back into the back line, and their job exclusively to deal with that trebuchet. Let's get them into position. There we go, a decent rock drop, but not the best. Whoa, and we're actually letting some of our pterodons here get caught. Is not an optimal situation. Our little skink here is going to poke away at that guy, and Mazdamundi can begin moving up. Mazdamundi, you're going to Ruination cities. Those guys, move these guys up a tiny bit. And whoopsie daisies, we lost one of our main anti-archer answers here. So, making a little bit of a screw up here. We'll have to be pretty careful. Back. You know what? Now we can't net that guy. Okay. So our solar engines getting some good shots off on the knights over there. And yeah, we have sadly lost some of our pterodons. We really did need to deal with those archers. Pretty bad. Let's throw down a banishment over there. Try to keep those archers occupied. Also just going to shut down those trebuchets with our Bastillodons. And that forces our opponent to move up. Now let's put in some drop rocks on top of those peasants. And there we go. Routed those guys off. And let's move in for those drop rocks. Mazdamundi, putting in some pressure. And we can summon us some manticores. Here we go. We have those peasants routing off. Now it's super imperative that we kill the Fey Enchantress here. So we're going to give her an arcane unforging and chase her off with our pterodon buddies here. Mazdamundi, ruination of cities on those Knights of the Realm. Hey, and we got the Fey Enchantress. Nice. And hey, there we go. nice, a nice win. Basically went, we went a very strong box build, which they need trebuchets to break. And having made some very important plays, taking out key targets like the Fey Enchantress and the trebuchet, we didn't even need that extra unit of Sora Spears, along with some absolutely incredible AoE on top of those knights. But yes, we do have banners now. Everyone, get your pew pews ready because we have 8, count them, 8 orc archers. These guys are gonna have a heyday versus that small 500, 600 unit army. And we have a very thin goblin front line who will mostly be playing keep away. Have an Arachnarok fighter. So basically the goal of this build is to focus down Mazdamundi as quickly as possible with Wurzag. We're going to net him down with an effigy of the Git. And then we're going to use our tons and tons of archers to we're going to use our tons of archers to hopefully focus down any big monsters before they jump in on top of us. These guys will want to be a little bit further back. There we go. Along with these guys probably. There we go. We'll keep them on guard mode. Put those guys on the good old 9 hotkey. Have our spider riders into support in case anything comes in through the back. Have an Arachnarok spider. These wolf riders gonna need to do some work for us. And hello, Red Favor. Going to see if we can win this. This game's for you, friend. Okay, good luck, have fun. Yeah, we just need to really focus down his whatever lord or hero comes our way. Now, he could go for a flank overload, and we'll have to pivot to make sure that we face it in the correct direction. Otherwise, we are in some trouble. But yeah, this looks like a very standard Lizardmen build. Yeah, Red Favor, this game does have tournaments. It's amazing. Look up Turin on YouTube. He's probably the biggest tournament host. But you can also take a look at my channel too, where you can see all of my tournament games. Very fun. Alright, so our opponent is ready. Let's do this. Alright, and we're going to have to pivot, like we said. And there we go. There's Mazdamundi, along with an ancient Stegodon. Okay. There's also some Cold One Knights over there. And Wurzag is taking a little bit of a beating. Okay. These archers are going to need to pivot. And we're going to summon some spiders. Block those guys. And move back there, friend. And Wurzag, keep dodging for your life. Okay, all archers on deck. Burn and kill Mazdamundi, please. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Lock him down. And the spider going to rush in and try to deal with him. While Wurzag runs for his life. Come on, Wurzag. Live, darn you, live. Okay, our spider is now chasing down Mazdamundi.
Wolf riders!
But this is looking rough.
Running! Moving fast!
Let's see, Warzag is getting hunted down. Come on, spider. It looks like Mazdamundi's actually going to make it out, and our front line is crumbling quickly with the edge of the map so close. This is going to be rough. And there we go. I do imagine this game is over. Which means that we will be moving on to the losers bracket. But let's keep scrapping it out. See if we can win it. Man, I was really hoping that those archers would be able to put in enough burst damage. But it appears not. Wolf Riders jump on Mazdamundi. And then it's going to be up to this fighter. Try and win it out for us. But it looks like we have a very quick game incoming. Come on, Wolf Riders. Okay, we got some pterodons diving in. And a manticore by the looks of it. Few troops are rallying. They're going to have a hard time. While we chase down Mazdamundi. I do believe that is GG. I think if we had killed off this ancient stegodon that was chasing Warzag, it would have been better. But I think in general we were going to have a hard time. Looks like this is game. And our guys in on those lizards. And it's up to that Arachnarok spider, really. Now we are going to keep sticking in it. Since if we drop out, it's over anyways. So yeah, we're just going to keep sticking in. Let's summon in some spiders and have that Arachnarok hopefully win it for us. On Goblin Archers rush upwards. And it's going to come down to if the Arachnarok can beat an ancient stegodon. I doubt it, especially since Mazdamundi is still alive. It's fighting, and we managed to terror out some troops. But yeah, this is pretty rough. We have our Goblin Archers still shooting on Mazdamundi. Going to have them keep on firing. And our spider munching on some cold ones. It's taking a lot of damage. Come on. Keep shooting Mazdamundi. We have another spider summon coming up in a second. Let's get them summoned up. But this game is very likely done. We have the solar engine still alive. The GG. We don't need to stick around any longer. This is basically confirmed loss since sadly we were not able to get that net. Shall end battle. Save the replay. And we are not out of the tournament. We are now in the losers bracket where we will be fighting to get back to the top. But yeah, very strong Lizardmen build. The engagement on Warzag did him very good. And we did not do too well keeping him safe.